Hi again, race fans. This is the Pecino Report. This is a Pecino Report special event. Newsflash, newsflash, newsflash. Guys, we've got some breaking news coming out of Spain. So we've got the man on the line, the man himself, Manuel Pecino, El Jefe, has some amazing news about that guy there. So Manuel, without further ado, let's get into it. What have you heard? What's happening?
Hello to everybody. Yes, it is a must to have to do a podcast after we knew about Marc Marquez's new surgery. It's a must now. At this point, everybody more or less knows what happened, but we want to go in the now what, okay?
Yes.
After the surgery, what is because that's the question basically that is going around, and that most of the people are asking themselves, now what will happen with Marc? When will he come back? How will Honda resolve this situation? So there are many questions that we don't have a magic crystal you say, ball?
Yeah.
But we have some experience, some contacts, maybe we can put some light on it. Okay.
Exactly.
Where do you want us to start?
Did he have the surgery that was anticipated at this point?
Well, the surgery, I think in our podcast, we explained exactly which the situation was, okay? Marc, basically, after the second surgery, a bone was implanted, you say? Yes, implanted in Marc's humerus. That was a bone of
Can you please say that bone again?
Humerus.
Thank you.
Not funny.
It's not funny. It's humorous. No,
that's right.
That's a bad joke.
He had a bone out of a cadaver, so he had a piece of a dead body implanted in there, didn't he?
Okay, and this bone didn't. The body didn't accept this bone, basically.
Rightly
okay?
so.
So they tried. They went to. We have to say that his shoulder or his arm would be okay for a normal life, for Stu lives, for Andrew or for my life, but not for a racer. So the situation was critical, and at a certain point they went to visit the most experts in that area here in Spain. Okay, they were in Madrid. Then the surgery they planned to do was extremely aggressive. We will go through it. Extremely aggressive. They first tried another not that aggressive treatment for 3 months, but it didn't work. So in December, I think it was last 3rd of December, he flew from Barcelona to Madrid, entered in the hospital, and he had an 8-hour surgery. So 8 hours he was in the surgery room.
Wow.
And I will try, I am obviously not an expert, but I will try more or less to explain what happened to him. Okay. So we start from the humerus, no? The humerus, what did they do? They took out the plate, the second plate he got installed, and put a third one. Okay,
same material, same stuff, a plate.
The details about the plate, I don't know. We didn't get that, okay? But it's obviously that it has to be a titanium plate. The size and how many screws, at this point, I don't know. Okay, there we have the plate installed. Then, obviously, they had to try to regenerate the bone. Regenerate, you understand, right?
Yep.
Okay, to do this, they needed bones. They took some slices of bones from his own body. These bones needed to be vascularized bones. I mean, bones irrigated with blood. That aren't that many in the body. You know, for example, the scaphoid is one of them, and the one they took off was from the pelvis. The lower part of the pelvis, there seems to be very much vascularized. So they cut some slices and put them at the humerus. Okay. But not being enough, they opened Marc's femur.
Femur, yep.
Yeah, not the femur. So they opened his thigh
Right.
to
Yep.
get to the femur.
Yep.
Mhm.
Which is the
The
biggest
femur-
bone in your thigh. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. The femur has a kind of a coating around the bone to
Okay.
irrigate the bone.
Ah.
Okay. So they cut a piece of that coating
Mm-hmm.
and put it around the humerus
Right. Okay.
to
Yeah.
help
Yep.
the irrigation, to help the bone.
Help the blood
to
flow
help-
around there to help it repair.
exactly. So imagine, it sounds like a butcher, butcher.
Yes. Yeah. He's a
So-
pig on a butcher's table. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they put this coating around his humerus and around the implant,
Yep.
and now they need to know if this works. I mean, the irrigation has to help the bone to get strong, to get accepted in the
Mhm.
body. Accepted is okay because it's his own bone,
Hmm.
Yeah. But the irrigation, no, the word is the irrigation is vital to get how do you say
I keep thinking this is something they've never done before. It sounds like surgery, like they've just gone, let's give this a crack.
It sounds like it's pretty intense for sure. Like
yeah,
it's
no,
pretty desperate.
look, yeah, and so okay, normally this is the blah, part of the story, okay, but the good part of the story is that in 99% of these operation are successful.
Successful
it's-
means
Yeah,
what though? That it completely heals, or
it heals. No, but so basically the bone gets back the strength and the strength that is needed to support the stress of a MotoGP rider.
Mm,
Yeah.
Okay, the problem is so 99% of these operations go well, but this 90%, 99% start after the first month. Because so Mark has now, probably when you hear this, he's back home, then he has to stay 1 month at home,
Mhm.
because after 1 month they have to check if there has been no infection,
Yep.
because having been open 8 hours
everyone
room,
fiddling and everything.
even being in a hyper environment,
Mm.
there is always the chance of bacteria or viruses
Yeah.
that get in.
It's like that
there is
game
one-
Operation, like they've just, do you have that in Europe? It's called Operation, and they've got all the
With
open
the
bits
buzzer.
and you've got
Yeah.
to, have you seen that, Manuel?
No.
Oh,
It's a kid's game. And you've got all the little bones and the electronic thing, and you try to take the bones out, and it goes if you hit the thing. It's like that. Yeah.
Yeah, so the doctors have given 1 month period to see if everything is okay.
Mhm.
All right. So the recovery period they expect, or that is normal, is never less than 6 months.
So 6 months or
Okay.
more, not 6 months, like they're saying.
6 months, and we are talking 6 months to the physical recovery, not to a sportsman recovery, or not to
Wow.
be fit to ride the bike. 6 months to be human,
Yep.
to be
Yep.
normal. All right. And this is it's just hearing it is absolutely rough,
So we're saying 2021 is done. Is that what we're saying? Or
Yesterday I had a discussion, because May, if we do this 6 months, May should be the month where he will be, and we cross fingers, of course, that
Mhm.
everything will be done for him as a human being, as a person.
Yep.
6 months, May. Then,
At a minimum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he has to go back to the rider physical condition.
exactly.
There are people in that think that 2020 is over, 2021 is over. I don't expect that. I
Mhm.
expect him to come back, let's say for summer or something like this. Okay, let's be positive.
Okay.
The last couple is a bit of a tester, perhaps.
Yeah, no, the problem, yeah, because it has to be expected that after having done this craziness of coming back 5 days after breaking the humerus, remember?
Yep.
Now the timing will be the correct one. Nobody will hurry up, because we have seen the consequences, and nobody more than Marc has seen the consequences.
Yeah, exactly. Which is, if we go back to episode 12 or 13 or whatever it was of the Pecino report, you remember the comments that we were making then as well, where they were talking about rushing him back, and myself and yourself were saying the same thing, like, why are they rushing him back? Give him time.
I was saying that too.
Because I think exactly. And because we knew what the potential consequences could be. And then here we are 6 or 8 months later, and we can see what the consequences have been. They've actually happened. So for 2021 for HRC, what does this mean for HRC then, Manuel? Do they have to start readjusting their plans?
Yes, but Stu, before going to that, you just said something. Look, you said we knew what was going to happen. I think we imagined, because we are not doctors, right? And we imagine, and I think everyone imagined what could happen, but the doctors that told him, go ahead. You know, that sounds like weird, because
That's crazy talk.
We are nothing. I mean, we don't understand.
Exactly.
We are very basic in medicine. We thought, okay, how can this be possible? How stupid we are not to understand that after 5 days he can race, because the doctors were the one who told him, go ahead.
Yeah, and I think at the time, Dave gave us a really good opposite viewpoint as well and I think you might have also explained some of the recent history of what's happened with MotoGP riders, how there's been more and more pressure, and there's been a few really good miracle recoveries. There really has. You know, I think Stoner had a really big injury, Rossi had a really big injury, and you know, a couple of guys have come back within a few weeks, and that seems to have given everybody this false sense of security that these guys are just superheroes, and you can put them under the knife and 5 days later expect them to be riding these MotoGP machines again. Whereas Marc Marquez really seems to have brought them back down to earth.
Thought that's what was going to happen. Yeah.
Yeah, but look, now it's easy to say, I said it, I know, but the thing seems that, as you said, there have been miracle returnings, you know, miracle returnings. The thing is that these returns have always been on small bones, like metatarsio, like, you know, a scaphoid.
Scaphoids, exactly.
Not like on a bone this size. That is, you know, and this seems to have been the difference. But I tell you that this will never happen again. So he has been the kind of the rabbit. Yeah. To test it. Okay. So Stu, the question was, sorry.
Yeah, HRC 2021. Are they having to adjust their plans now? Are they really having to? I mean, is Stefan Bradl back in for the first 5 races of 2021? Who knows? What are they thinking?
Yes. Look, obviously, in Honda they knew what was going on before the operation, right? So they started with their B plan, and it's very interesting. The B plan started when they confirmed Stefan Bradl for the next season.
Yeah.
Because for weeks, Stefan Bradl was told to wait. We are thinking what we are doing. Okay. But after Valencia 2, between Valencia 2 and Portugal, last Grand Prix and second last Grand Prix, Bradl was confirmed. Okay. So then at that point, they knew what was going on. It's clear. Now with the perspective, we can see. So what will happen? It's clear that Bradl won't do the same that he did this season. I mean, doing the substitute rider and doing the test rider. This cannot happen again in 2021. So Honda needs another rider.
Test rider. Wow.
Another rider. The question is, Stu and Andra, is what for? Do they need, or what are they thinking for? This second rider will be the substitute rider or the test rider?
Yeah, exactly.
Because they have Bradl, you know, and Bradl has done both roles this year.
Yeah.
So they need someone to do one of the two.
Yep.
Okay. So at this point, I can say that there were conversations with Andrea Dovizioso.
But surely
So the
not. He's got his plans all
Oh.
set out. He wants to do his motocross.
Okay, look, this and it's so interesting. Look, because knowing now what I know, I spoke with Andrea Dovizioso's manager about that in Portugal. I went to dinner with him in Portugal. And he said, no. I haven't had any contacts with Alberto Puig, no contacts, no second. And it was a half true and a half lie, because the conversation happened through Lucio Cecchinello. So he was
hadn't
telling
directly spoken.
There's Manuel feeding him booze, going, come on, talk.
So he was not lying, but he didn't tell the whole truth.
Yeah.
He just was answering to that question, not to the, are you talking to? No, he said, I have no contact.
Nice.
So, and then after that, I know that until Portugal, Cecchinello was the bridge, okay? And in Portugal, there was finally a direct talk between them, probably after the dinner I had with him.
Yeah. It's okay.
Because
I've spoken to Manuel now. We can talk.
I didn't saw his nose grow, when he was telling me. And
So
he was sitting on the side. He was sitting on the side.
So what's the verdict? Do you think that's going to happen?
Well, the thing is, Dovizioso and Honda wants Dovizioso, and I tell you, I don't know for which of the both roles. The matter, if it doesn't happen, it's a pure matter of money. Pure matter of money.
And will they let him do motocross?
Yes, but because Dovi, look, I don't know if I told you about the interview I did with him, and I asked him if he would like to be a manager. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
Did I tell you?
I mean,
and he told and he told me, look, the problem is I got offers to do the role as a manager in MotoGP. I got offers, but the thing is, I don't want to work. I am retiring because I am fed up of work.
Yep.
So now appears this situation. So they offer him a ride, and Dovizioso will only return for money. I mean, he will stay on a certain amount, and he will not move from that amount. And I can tell you, look, that Ducati offered him 2.5 million euros to continue, and he said no. He said, I am worth 4 million, and he didn't go back 1 centimeter.
Do they still have to? Is Marc Marquez being still under contract? He has to still. He still gets paid.
This is another question. Look, this is the next topic we are going in. But finishing with Honda there, the situation is, so now the conversation are going on. It's a matter of money. And then the point is, you would take Dovizioso as a test rider or as a full-time rider? That's the question.
Rider, wouldn't you? How could you not? Who would be a better option as a rider than
look
him?
at Bridle's results for the second half of the year,
Claro. That's it,
Yeah.
That's it.
Seems like a clear choice.
The clear choice, I think most of the people, and the logical, there is no logical in this situation, it would be Dovi being a full-time rider, substitute but we don't know, but this is exactly, the situation is this at this moment,
Yep.
Ooh.
Yep. I think if it comes down to it, I think you're right. Dovi will be able to force his way to be the full-time rider. But, as I say, Bridle has proven himself with good results. So him and his manager, his team, are going to be pushing really, really hard to say, hey, we should have this ride for sure. We're already under contract. Let's do it. So you're right. It's going to be a really interesting conversation. I'd love to be a fly on the wall in those discussions. That would be fantastic.
Yes, because, Stu, okay, it's clear that Bridle won't win a race, and it's difficult for him to be on the podium.
But will he
And
improve? Is he quite newish? Like he's got time to kind of.
Right.
no,
Rattle.
he's back.
No.
But the question is, what do you think Dovizioso can perform on that Honda?
Exactly. That's it. I mean, he's ridden the Honda before. It was, albeit an older model of the bike. So he knows a lot of the dynamics of the team, possibly. But he's not getting younger.
And
He's
he
older than
remember,
Bradle, isn't he?
yeah, he's 35
Yeah.
already. So, and remember that his the enormous difficulties he has had with the new rear tire, that will be the same on the Honda.
Same. Yeah. Exactly.
All right. Okay, let's go to the contract. The contract is another interesting point. Marquez signed a 4-year contract. Remember, 4-year contract to start in 2021, because this year he was still on his old contract. Okay, so I have contacted some managers for them to explain me how it works for a rider who has not raced one race in the whole year. So he has not done nothing of the job he was contracted for.
Exactly.
Zero.
Hasn't completed one race.
Exactly. So I asked them, how can they? Okay, he can't be paid because he has not done his job. They told me, look, in this year, Honda and Repsol have been loyal to Marc and have paid him the full contract. The whole contract he had.
Okay.
Complete.
They must have insurance and stuff to cover a lot of this, do they, as riders?
Yeah, we arrived to that. The insurance, normally the teams, the reinsurance these contracts. The famous Lloyd's in England. So they have the contract, they reinsurance the contract. In one of these cases, it's the insurance company that pays. Right? But obviously we all know the insurance companies. The insurance company, they will look after who is the one to blame.
They find a way to get out of the payout. That's all they do.
Or looking for someone who has to pay the bill.
That money. Yep.
Yeah.
And in this case, who gave Marc Marquez green light to go? The doctor.
The doctor. No, it was me, the doctor.
That's why nobody has spoken anything about that. Nobody speaks, because if Mir speaks, probably he will pay the bill. So it's like
off with his head.
Everyone silent. Okay.
Wow.
Shiza.
So the problem comes in the next contracts, because Honda and Repsol have been loyal to him, have paid everything. But next year, they won't pay the 4 years contract,
So in that too, though, obviously, if they're not 100% sure he's going to be able to ride again, they don't actually have to sign him.
No, it's signed. At all. It's signed.
It's done.
It's signed.
Done. Yeah.
The contract is there, but the contract is there if he fulfills the job.
If he can, exactly.
Yeah.
If not, 1 year you be loyal, you be nice, you be, but there is no sense, and no company would accept. We pay them, and we are talking about 12-15 million a year. So who is going to be the one to pay this? Because Marquez will not just give away 12 million. He will look for some responsibility.
He could do modeling or something.
Want to come back to Dr. Mir again, though, isn't it?
Yeah. So look at the situation.
Coming back to Dr. Mir.
Oh my
Dr.
God.
Mir probably means the hospital where he works in. And the doctors, because my brother is a surgeon, they have insurance for these cases.
I was going to say, surely he's got something to cover him for this.
He needs to be checking his policy.
Then it's a fight between insurance companies. Well, it will be a mess.
That's nasty.
This ends in court for sure.
Wow.
Bloody hell.
So what do you see as being the likely timeline, Manuel? I mean, we've said 6 months, and as you said, 6 months for a human, but then you've got the extra stress of being a MotoGP rider, but then you can cut off a couple of months maybe because he is a little bit superhuman. When do you realistically see that he can be competitive on a bike again? What do you
Stu,
think?
I wouldn't dare to say. I just say, look, this 6 months is exactly Spanish Grand Prix in Jerez. Well, he got hurt. Look how life is, you know.
That's career. That's career
karma.
ending.
Yeah, and look, more about the contracts. Another important clause in the contracts. Normally, there is a clause that says, if a rider doesn't, due to an injury, doesn't participate in, for example, if he is off 3 or more Grand Prix, his contract starts to get cut in the percentage of races he's off. You understand?
It's watered down. Yeah. And then to a certain point, it gives the team an out so they can void it, doesn't it? Like, isn't it up to 50 or 70% of a season? They have the choice of voiding the contract as well.
Yes, because normally they accept a rider being off with a big injury 2 or 3 Grand Prix.
Or the
But if
Rona.
it goes more than this, they said, okay. That's the story. And then another question mark or another answer we want to give: who pays the bill of these amazing surgeries we have spoken about? You know, because this is expensive. You know.
Yeah.
You know, so many surgeons, and they were the top surgeons in Spain. You know, and imagine how much they get for each hour of their surgery. So the insurance they have is the following: the IRTA, the International Riding Team Association, they have a common insurance for all the riders. Okay, all the riders are covered by an insurance from IRTA. This insurance covers up to 150,000 costs. And after that, all the riders have a separate insurance, private insurance, to cover the rest. Because look, this 150,000 for the operation, Mark, this is probably, you know, in the first 2 hours, this money has gone. Okay, so one of the main personal sponsor of Marc after Red Bull is Allianz. That's an insurance company.
Insurance company, yeah.
Exactly. Allianz is probably and Allianz has, how do you say, special insurance for athletes.
Okay.
Cool.
So probably he has his health insurance there, and also insurance, the contract he had with Honda in case they don't pay him.
Yep.
If his manager has done a proper job. But at the end, once again, we have said that sentence here lots of time, it's down to money.
Yeah.
Follow the money. Follow the money. You understand why me or nobody has spoken anything. Follow the money about the contracts that can be broken with Marc's injury. Imagine how much, if somebody got guilty for that, he's broken. He's broken.
Oh yeah, he's done. His career.
But I imagine like Mir seems to do, he does everything he can to get those riders out there. Like he's walking a fine line no matter what, because he's obviously, I don't know.
Yeah, I tell you, yesterday I was asked, do you think that Marquez would go against Mir? I mean, take him to court? And I told them, it depends. Probably it won't be a Marquez called Marc, but the one who's going to you know, go after him will be called Marquez.
Or the insurance company, like you said. Yeah.
Because look, you are very nice, but you can't give away 30 million euros.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know,
there's friendship, and then there's friendship.
There is no friendship that resists 30 million euros.
Exactly.
When it's not even a friendship, you know, it's just professional relationship.
And career over type stuff.
Yeah. Wow, that's some amazing insights there, Manuel. Thank you so much. Any other specific little points or tidbits?
I think we I don't know if we have spoken this in previous podcasts, but I just want to throw in the parallelism. You understand that word? Yes,
Yep.
parallelism between the situation of Marc Marquez and the one Freddie Spencer went through.
Yes. Yeah.
Fill me
Fast
in because I
Freddy,
don't
very
know this.
similar.
I don't
Yep.
know. Did
Yes,
he?
and Freddie Spencer was in the half of the 80s, the
Mhm.
second half of the 80s.
Yeah, late
I
He was
remember them.
he was basically the Marc Marquez, the previous
80s.
Marc Marquez.
Okay. Yep.
Yes, but Freddie arrived very, very young at the championship. He, in fact, Marquez beat all the records, the youth records Freddie had. The one who beat
Wow.
them was Mark. Okay, look, it was, I think, 1986, far away, but it's important for racing. 1986, Freddie Spencer, as a very young kid, he wins 2 championships the same year, because at that time they raced in 2 categories.
Mhm.
The following year, the championship started like, okay, who is going to be second and third this year? Because everybody, it was clear that Freddie was
The
unbeatable.
man. Yep.
Yeah.
Start to think in this year after Marquez last year, Mark, he won almost every race last year, only second, first.
Yeah.
So
We
the
know who's
same.
going to win. Who's going to be second? That was
Exactly.
the question. Yeah.
Freddie, in that year, 87, the championship started in Spain. He started in the race, pulled away. Lap 12, suddenly something happened. He lost in 1 lap 4 seconds. Lap 13, he entered in the garage.
Mhm.
He had arm pumps.
Oh.
That was something that today is normal. At that time, they didn't know what it was.
Yep.
Arm pumps. Andra, he never, ever again got on the podium. Never.
Oh.
Never in his career.
Yeah.
He tried to come back several times. Marc Marquez in Jerez, astonishing everyone with his riding, overtaking riders like crazy, had an accident.
Mhm.
I hope that there, at this point, stop the parallelism between them two, and Mark returns.
Yeah.
But at this point, it's
looking
basically a
good.
carbon copy of the story,
Mm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. I certainly hope not. I hope we do see him back. Like for as I say, for everything that we said for the last year about it's going to take too long and he won't come back for a long time. I really do hope that we see him back early
And
next year.
competitive.
Exactly, and competitive. That's right, because he is amazing for the sport. People do love to watch him. He sets such a high benchmark for all the other riders to aspire to as well. So yeah, the paddock would be a worse place without him, definitely.
And then the big question mark, and this is big, how will this affect his mentality? Some say now because Mark is a challenger, he's a fighter. Hang on. How do you say, must, stay in his here in the back after
Back to
all
Mark,
what he's
exactly.
going through.
Yes, he's not a robot. It's always there.
Exactly.
And missing out a year or more
Yep.
competing on the track, he's coming back to a completely different situation.
Mm-hmm.
He's had the crash.
Mentally is the key.
Yeah, and he has built up over what 7, 8, 9 years. He has built fear into every other rider. That's what he's done. So whenever he goes out onto the track, there is fear in every other rider. Now that's gone.
Yep.
He has to start again. He really, really does. And so, I hope he has the mental fortitude to do that again.
Yeah, and when he comes back, the riders, they have no mercy. They will push. They will try him to see how far mentally he's capable to go. So
And my prediction is that if and when he comes back, he's gonna, I don't know, still ride, not dangerously, but he's gonna have something to prove to himself and to everyone.
Still be on that edge.
I do. I think he would come back still on the edge. If he's coming back, he's going all out.
Yeah, will his riding be as savage as he has been? That's the question.
Yeah, savage.
It would be because he's even what he did in that last race. Like you could tell he was just like, that's all he could see.
when he
I
had
can't
he's
imagine that
red
would
mist
change.
completely. Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't know
Well,
any other way, does he?
That's it. That is the situation. We have answered some question, and there are a lot of other questions open. We cross fingers that Marc will be back because he's our reference in our sport. That's good.
Exactly. Yep, he is. Thank you so much, Manuel. This was really insightful. I've really enjoyed this. So yeah, thank you very much, Andra. Yep, thank you so much for joining us as well. It's been absolutely fantastic again today. As we always say, like, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you get notified when these specials come out. Make sure you get over to pecinogp.com for all of this kind of news and more. And we'll see you a couple of times in the off-season again because this news isn't stopping anytime soon. So we'll keep seeing you soon. All right. Thanks very much, guys.
Bye-bye.
Cheers.
See ya.
Bye.
Adios. Adios.